Hello and welcome back to the Hawkins Hellfire Collective. This is Devin Grubb.
And Zach Grubb.
And today we are talking about Season 2, Episode 2.
Trick or Treat, Freak.
Just knowing that the title is like them being mean to Will is kind of sad.
I know. Yeah. It's pretty messed up.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, we don't start with Will.
No, we do not. We start off with a flashback to 11 waking up in the Upside Down.
Mm-hmm.
Which answered our question because we kind of we talked about that. Where did she go? Because we didn't remember exactly.
Right. It was a question of hey, what exactly happened to her after this? I can't really remember. And now I know why I couldn't remember, because the show basically just shrugs it off.
She's only in there for 30 seconds.
Yeah. It was... I think it was, again, coming out with a season 2 and being oh, we didn't plan for this. What happened to 11? Okay, we know where we want to take the story now. We know where we want her to end up. And we have to come up with a good reason for how she got there at the end of season 1. So, okay, she's in the Upside Down and she finds her way out.
Yeah, well, it's Hawkins Middle School, which is where she, did in the Demogorgon. So it's the middle school Upside Down.
Yeah, it's like she got sucked through the gate while she was pushing him through.
Yeah, and then she finds a gate, and that's what she goes through. And I have something that you wanted to talk about.
What was
in
that?
My notes.
Oh, let me put my hand in this goop. Wait. Yeah,
the cops are searching the school while she's trying to or she sees the cops through the upside down gate, and she starts putting her hand through, and they don't even notice anything. They don't pay attention.
The cops are searching for her. They actively ignore this gate that you can see on the other side. We know you can see it on the other side. We've seen that over and over again. Just ignore it, run away. And I turned to Devin and I said, you know what? That doesn't make any sense to me. Because, if anything, those two dumbass cops would be the people to be let me put my hand in this goop and see what happens. It's silly. And it speaks to what I was saying earlier. I really think this was an afterthought.
Yeah.
This was okay, we need to get 11 back, and we didn't plan for this, so let's throw a scene in there.
Yeah. And then once she gets out, I feel really bad because she goes back to Mike's house because it's the only real home that she's kind of known, basically, and all the FBI and cops are all there, and she's well, I can't go in here now.
And Mike's I would never tell you where she is. And I'm yeah, Mike, hell yeah.
And something that I know I didn't notice, or I don't remember noticing the first time we watch it, is that he actually sees her in the window.
Yeah.
He sees her watching outside, and that's why he is so desperate to find her, because he knows that she's out there.
Yeah, he wants to believe that was real.
Yeah.
And it was. He's right. It was real.
Yeah.
But I feel part of him is I hope I'm not crazy. So he's checking every channel trying to find her.
Trying to make sure. Oh, they're just... You just feel bad for them.
Right? But, I mean, we do go from those kind of horrible and sad scenes to Hopper and 11.
That's true. 11 wants to go trick-or-treating, which is really cute. She just, comes out with a sheet. And she's ghost.
Ghost. No one will notice. And I was yeah, you're right.
You're right. Nobody will.
Who's going to pull off some random kid's ghost costume? Who cares? Come on, Hop. Let her go trick-or-treating. So he's no, we're going to compromise.
The word of the day.
He
gives her words of the day. But his compromise is literally what we do.
Yeah,
on Halloween.
It's how we like to spend our Halloweens.
Watching scary movies and eating candy and getting fat is what he says.
That's what, yeah.
And that's what we do.
Yeah, we watched that, and he was like, it's a compromise. You know, I get what I want. You get a little what you want. And she's like, I'm halfway happy. And I was like, no, we'd be totally happy.
I'm totally happy with
That's
that.
our thing. Like, I mean, we're adults. We get to buy our own candy.
Well, we go trick-or-treating now. And
Oh,
our
yeah,
child
we get a
is
kid.
too young to eat all the candy, so we get some candy.
Oh, we take the candy that we don't think she should have.
Right. She's not going to eat a whole bucket of candy herself. She's 2.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, she could. We'd be bad parents if we let her. And then we immediately see the kids.
And they're the Ghostbusters! It's so...
And their costumes are legit.
They are. But they're proton packs and stuff. Like,
Yep.
they're really cool.
Big props to the costuming department.
Yeah.
For creating, like, it really does look like these could have been created by kids in the 80s.
Because they're all the same, because they're all Ghostbusters. But if you really look at them, they all are slightly different. Like, Will's is a slightly darker... His is like a darker green color than the others who are kind of like that khaki color.
But it looks like they all worked on their proton packs
together.
together.
The proton packs together. Like
cool.
Everything is the same but slightly different, and it makes it very realistic.
Yeah. Oh, and we get introduced to Erica.
Yes, Erica makes her sassy debut. Just the facts. It's like
calling her brother a dork.
Yeah.
What? Just the facts.
But in the midst of all of this, Joyce finds a drawing of Will's. Will drew his vision with the Mind Flayer, and he lies and just tells her that it's for a story that he's writing. But, like, he's having these clear images of, and, like, they do come back into it later on.
I just want to say, if the show ends well and we get like a flash forward to what everybody's doing in the future, Will better be Stephen King.
I feel like he'd be some kind of like artist or something. Not necessarily a writer, but it's always been said in the show that he is a good artist.
Yeah, I mean, we see like a whole season 1. Was it good? Like, was the drawing
right? That's
good?
how you know that that's how Joyce can differentiate between who the child is that he's talking about.
Yeah, Joyce shows Hopper his art, Will's art, and it's freaking good for a kid.
Yeah, and then he has all of these, which essentially later on becomes like maps for everybody else.
Yep.
Can't say I remember if he has any drawings in season 3, but season 4, he has the big drawing, the big reveal, like painting for them. So. Yeah, I want Will to be an artist when he gets older, but not a starving artist. Like he gets paid for his work.
Yeah. I think
they're the only ones in costume at school.
Yeah, they're the only ones wearing costumes.
Really
Poor
sad.
kids. Oh, and Mike and Lucas argue over who gets to be Venkman.
Who gets to be Venkman?
And I just remember thinking, like, in Mike's defense, he really shouldn't be Winston. There's issues there.
Yeah. Not saying
Lucas has to be,
but
like at the same time, Will
can't.
No, not Will. Mike really shouldn't be.
But Will shouldn't either.
None of them should. None of them should, and Lucas shouldn't if he doesn't want to.
Right. Lucas can be whatever he wants.
Exactly.
I like Lucas this season.
Lucas is a lot of fun this season, and I forgot about that, and they like bring it right back in episode 1 and 2. So we have that whole conversation between Hop and Joyce, where they're talking about Will and like how he's reacting to things, and Hopper's trying to explain to her that like a lot of his buddies came back from war with PTSD.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it seems like Hopper, being the eternal badass that he is, doesn't really seem to have any kind of psychological issues from the war.
Mm-mm.
All of his trauma comes from what happened with his daughter. Yeah.
But I guess, in a sense,
he blames his time.
So, I mean, they're related.
Yeah, but it's not like he experiences like post-traumatic stress disorder.
No, not in that sense.
And they don't stigmatize it at all, which was really cool.
No, because at the time that this is taking place, they would have.
Yeah.
So, that's where it's like, okay, are we to just think that they're like, very progressive people for their time, or is it just because the show was written when
Well,
it was.
I think Joyce definitely is, and Hop would be, because he went to war, and like the people who were experiencing that were his friends.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they were his brothers. They came out of it with him. So like he is the kind of person who would be sensitive to that.
Yeah.
And Hopper's jealous now that Joyce is dating. And okay, so this was interesting. We talked about it during the episode while we were watching, but it very much seems like they're like the Duffers got into season 2 and they were like, okay, we have our characters. We need to start establishing backstory.
Yeah. They
have, Joyce and Hopper reminiscing about being in high school together. And it's like, oh, that never came up in season 1. It didn't have to.
It didn't have to, no.
But, we're getting to a point now where these characters are getting fleshed out and it's happening for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say that there's any kind of love triangle in this season, because I wouldn't say that
there's
is,
not.
but they're planting the seeds for Hopper.
For Hopper and Joyce to have that relationship.
Yeah.
And it's not actually really brought, I mean, it is, but it isn't brought to light in season 3, but it's not really like...
Well, they go on a date. They have that, dad, they have that where Hopper's wearing the dad shirt.
That doesn't, the date never actually happens. That's why they're saying about how, that's why, Enzo's is the thing.
No, that
I didn't think it happened. No, they talk about going on a date, but I don't think the date ever happens. They wind up wearing the Soviet stuff and going and...
Well, I don't think it's a real date when they're there together in season 3. We'll have to check it out again.
We haven't gotten to season 3 yet,
But I remember, because that's where I got real upset about the whole flanderization of Hopper, was when he's wearing that awful dad shirt and hanging out, having dinner with Joyce. And it's like, this is not the character that we've seen for the first 2 seasons. We'll get to it.
Yeah. Jumping ahead.
That's what we do.
Okay. Hawkins Labgate, they're monitoring what's inside. They have equipment and monitors are all set up in the Upside Down.
Yes. Sorry, I kind of went ham on this episode because I immediately thought when they showed us that camera footage, the way that the camera footage is set up, it makes the Upside Down look like the Veil of Shadows.
We'll talk about it. You mentioned it when we were watching it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say. I just like the fact that they're not saying anything, but they're kind of alluding to it.
Yeah.
In all the images they showed us of the Veil of Shadows in the first season, it was like this darkened place, just covered in shadow, with kind of white skies with dark trees, lots of black and grayscale. And it's funny that they can give us that same presentation through the use of old 80s cameras.
Yeah.
Kind of showing us the Upside Down in black and white and giving us that visualization again. I don't think it comes up again throughout the show, but
no,
it's a cool nod, and I hope it was intentional, because if it was really smart.
Yeah. Was it intentional, Duffers? Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah, hit us up. Let us know.
So then we go to Nancy, and she's still feeling incredibly guilty about what happened to Barb. Like, they're in the library and she sees somebody from behind who she thinks is Barb, and then they turn around and it's not Barb. And this had made me have a thought.
What?
It told me to write it down, but I don't am I allowed to discuss the E word?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So this just made me think, we all know Eddie died. They left. We all
your feelings out.
We all know that I am a firm Eddie is not dead believer. But for the sake of not really knowing, Eddie died in the Upside Down, and we're just supposed to believe that he left him there. Now, going back to this season, Nancy is incredibly guilty about the death of her friend.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me wonder, if she's lived this already, why would she be okay reliving something similar with Eddie? Because they all became friends with him. They were all willing to help him, to help clear his name. And then, oh, boop, you're dead. Bye. Sorry. Okay. We're just going to go run back and live our lives.
So I actually do have a response for you here, but I just want to point out that every time you talk about Eddie, you get closer to the mic.
I know,
and it's really funny.
The thing
it's really funny. So, okay. I think there's the obvious, like, we're going to cover our asses here answer, which is, oh, well, she's battle-hardened now. Like, she's experienced so much. It's not going to affect her the same way. Which I'm going to say is pretty dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if that's the excuse, I don't buy it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, Nancy's a badass. We've established this. But she's
not
a robot.
Right. She still has feelings.
Right. Like, I don't know. So I agree with you. It's silly that she has... I mean, granted, Barb was her friend for years, presumably.
Right.
And Eddie was kind of a new person in her life. But everyone should be more upset than just Dustin.
And I was literally... I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Having been through what they have all been through, and they all had a connection to him, like, it should have more of an impact on them than it did, or that they've shown so far. The only one that they have shown that have any effect on is Dustin, which, yes, he would be the one to have it would have the biggest weight on Dustin, but it should have a weight on the others as well.
Right, because he was buying them time.
He was helping them. That's why he died.
Right.
And they were also helping him. They were doing that to help Max and to help clear his name. So, like, they were putting their lives on the line for this guy.
Right.
Okay. I digress.
Yeah.
Because this isn't the Eddie episode, but I could go on.
There will be one. You know what? I could probably make an Eddie episode by just cutting together all of your conversation, everything you've said about Eddie. Maybe I'll do that. Somebody should do that.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, Dustin and Lucas formally introduced themselves to Max.
Yep.
They invite her trick-or-treating. I just thought it was cute.
Yeah, and she's like, that's presumptuous of you. And Dustin's like, I'm presumptuous.
And Lucas, like, looks at him like, that's a good thing, right? And Lucas, like, looks at him and he, like, shakes his head and, like, walks away. Like, no, dude.
Dustin, who can do, like, college-level calculus in his head, doesn't know what presumptuous means. But, like, I also thought that was cool, because that's a call out. Season 4 is a callback.
Yeah.
When she tells Lucas he's being, that's presumptuous of you.
Yeah,
that's cool. 11 sees a Terminator commercial, and that inspires her look later on in the show, I think. Later on in this season. When she does her little badass makeover.
When she becomes, like, punk.
Yeah. And, I think it's very much inspired by that Terminator look that they gave us, you know?
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. Silly, but I wanted to point it out.
They have the flashback to her in the woods.
Yes.
She's like we've talked about this when we were watching it. Like, she was this sheltered, like, science experiment kid who never went outside, and all of a sudden she knows how to hunt and kill, skin and roast a squirrel on a spit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where'd you learn how to do that?
Like, look, I'm willing to give you 11 the benefit of the doubt that, like, okay, if I throw something with my mind hard enough against a tree, it'll die. Totally, sure.
Right.
But, like, how the hell does she know how to skin and cook a squirrel?
Like, there are people
what?
Who are not sheltered, who can't start a fire from nothing.
Right?
Like, are we just supposed to think that she did it with her mind?
If she has pyrokinesis and can start fires with her mind, I would have loved to see that throughout this entire show. That would have been cool. But, like, also, yeah, if she's out there cooking squirrel by herself, why didn't she, like, get food poisoning and, like, die?
I mean, I assume that she cooked it to the proper temperature.
Yeah, how would she know?
I don't know.
She's a kid.
She knew how to cook it.
It's not like
how to start the fire.
It's not like she's, a scout. Like,
yeah, I don't think there was a Papa Scouts.
Right. Papa Scouts.
Papa Scouts at the Hawkins lab.
Yo, Papa Scouts. Yeah, and, like, she throws her food at that dude's head to knock him out and steal his coat and his hat and everything. Is that the same scene where she does find the Eggo?
Well, it's all later? Like, one flashback scene. But, yeah, she does find the little, like, the thing.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about in our last episode, where I was saying, like, this was definitely, like, they are clearing up afterthoughts at this point. Because that means, if she just found that box, opened it, and found Eggos, that means that when Hopper left those Eggos in that box, he knew nothing about her. He didn't know she was out there.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh, shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Like, let's see if she's out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll find these Eggos. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
And that comes back to what we were saying at the beginning of this episode, that they had to basically just quickly write a way for 11 to come back.
Yeah.
I wish all of that was a little more thought out at the end of season 1. Yeah. Because I feel like that could have been way better. And season 2 so far has been very strong. So, you know.
Yeah.
That bugs me. Then we get introduced to Billy. Well, I mean, we were already introduced to Billy, but like...
before we have Billy...
Oh, yeah?
No. Oh, no, you wrote about Billy with Max in the car?
Yeah, right up here.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're not being introduced to Billy. We already introduced him, but this is the first time we, like, actually see him talking to Max, I think.
Yeah.
And he's just straight up abusing her. He's
the worst. I hate him.
No, Billy is an absolutely disgusting person. I think now you can let loose, but keep in mind time. But you can let loose on the whole Billy Eddie thing.
I'm gonna just read what I said. I wrote, Billy is actually the worst. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I don't care. Because the worst. I think people form their opinions of Billy after what happens at the end of season 3.
Yeah.
You can't do that. That one act does not make up for how awful of a human he is in season 2 and most of season 3. Also, there's a lot of people who, like, think that he and Eddie would have been, like, really good friends. False. That is false information. They would not have been friends. Eddie would have despised him.
Eddie would have cracked a guitar over his head.
Eddie would have hated him.
Yeah.
He's a dick. Like, that's not even a strong enough word.
He's a dick. He's an abuser. He's a racist. He's completely willing to kill children with his car. Because he doesn't live in California anymore.
Oh, so sorry.
And, like, even that, so Vecna's creepy Max, that wasn't something he made up.
No, he did
That's something Billy actually does to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy God.
Billy's not okay. I have very strong opinions on not liking Billy, and I have since we watched this season the first time. I didn't like him then. I don't like him now. No,
Billy is a completely irredeemable character. His one redeeming act does not fix...
It doesn't fix
the person he was.
No, it doesn't. I mean, it was... When it happened, it was like, oh, like, wow, that was really awesome that he did that. But it doesn't make up for it. And, like, when people lump, like, you see, like, the memes of, like, oh, it's just a character, and they put, like, Barb and Bob and Eddie, and then they'll put Billy on that, like, oh, it's just a character, you shouldn't be upset by their death, and then it's just, oh, well, the characters. No, I was not upset by Billy's death. No. At all.
And you know what? The more we talk about Billy, and the more we're going to dissect him through this season, I have a very strong feeling that honestly, I don't think he sacrificed himself to save anybody. I think he just didn't want to be controlled because he's that messed up. He's
very narcissistic.
Like, exactly. He's incredibly narcissistic. He was more willing to be murdered by that thing than let it control him. Mm-hmm. The fact that he helped them at all is an unintended consequence for Billy. He doesn't care.
I didn't think about it that way. That's a very interesting point.
Yeah, and
we will need to dissect more.
We'll talk more as we go through the season. There's a couple. I think there's a scene with the fields rotting, but
yeah, Hopper he's marking the dead trees field. And everything.
Nothing really to get into there. Yeah, but we do get to see Jonathan and Will have another good moment together.
Yeah, because Will just wants to. Everybody's going trick or treating by themselves, and Joyce is making Jonathan like chaperone Will. And Jonathan sees that Will's, like, really unhappy about it. And he was like, look, you're going to stay with your friends. You're gonna come be back at this time. Go have fun.
Go be a kid.
Go be a kid. And it's nice to see that.
Yeah, Will needs that.
Yeah.
I think then we get the first scene at the party, and I'm pretty sure Billy's costume is like George Michael, which I think is hilarious for many reasons. And also, like, he gets in Steve's face. He's like, Steve's jerk friend is like, oh, he's the new keg stand king, and Billy's up in his face, and he's like, dude, you're gonna measure your manliness by doing a keg stand? Are you serious?
Good for you.
For real? That's how you're gonna challenge the king of Hawkins, by drinking some beer upside down?
Right.
Like, what? What? Weird flex, bro, but you do you. Bob.
Well, Bob enjoys.
Yeah.
He's super cute.
It's too good for this world.
Hopper's late. He broke his promise to 11. She doesn't want to let him in.
Yeah.
But I mean, can't blame her. He wouldn't let her go trick or treating. He promised he was going to be home on time, and he super late, and now she's all alone.
Yeah, she's stuck by herself watching horror movies. We get some trick or treating scenes. Max wants to hang out with the guys.
Yep. Yes.
Mike is super butthurt.
And I that's what I put. I was like, for someone who was quick to add 11 to the party, Mike is sure salty about Max.
Yep. It's like, oh, like, we're a democracy, Will. Did they ask you about this? And he's like, yeah, I didn't think it was a big deal.
They should have asked me.
Yeah, they should have asked me.
Who made you the leader? It's clearly Dustin.
Well, Mike was the leader. Now Dustin's the leader.
Dustin's always been the leader in my eyes.
But, like, yeah, we get our first little look at Mike kind of getting a little selfish.
Yeah.
Although that is decidedly not who he is this season.
And that is also quickly, like, the selfishness kind of cuts immediately, because Will has another episode, vision, trance, whatever you want to call it, and we get a full look at the Mind Flayer.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you brought it up in the last episode, where he can actually move in his, like, trances.
Right, so he's not totally tranced out like everyone in season 4, because he can actually move around.
And because Mike finds him, and he was like, you were running all around, like,
are you okay?
Are you okay?
Like, and he tells the guys, no, I gotta get Will home. I'm taking Will home.
I'm gonna take Will home. He's like, I'm bored of this, which is a lie. Obviously, he wants to still trick or treat, but he's like,
I don't think he does, because he's like, oh, they're ruining the best night of the year.
Well, because he's a teenager.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's being a good friend. He's like, I'm worried about you. You're my best friend. I'm gonna take you home, because clearly something's not okay. And then the breakup.
Oh, before that, real quick. So I thought it was interesting that in this episode we get to see both Elle and Will calling out for Mike while they're in the Upside Down.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
The breakup of the century. Nancy and Steve.
The end of Stancy.
1983 to 1984.
Mm-hmm.
You had a good run, guys. Nancy's actually really, really mean.
Yeah, she just calls Steve bullshit.
He's like, he tells her that he loves her, and she's like, it's bullshit. Like, yeah, she's super drunk, but she's like, it's all bullshit. You're bullshit. This is bullshit.
Yeah, she is straight up awful to Steve.
He's so sad.
And Steve's just trying to keep it together. Like, he knows how awful all of this is, like, everything that went down, and he's just trying to protect her, and she's like, you're bullshit. And his reaction isn't even like to get mad at her. He just goes, you don't love me?
Right.
And she goes, it's bullshit. And he leaves. Right. As he should. Well, not as he should.
Well, no, because she's drunk at a party and he's her way home.
Right.
So bad form Steve.
Bad on Steve there.
But
thankfully, Jonathan
was at the party.
Thankfully, Jonathan swoops in to save the day.
Dun, dun, dun. But, you know, I also had another note, but I'm not going to bring that up.
No?
I mean, it was just that, like, I worry that Dustin is going to react to Steve in season 5. It's gonna parallel.
Oh, no, this is a good note.
Yeah, I feel like, so, Dustin lost someone, and Steve was involved. Just like Nancy lost someone, and Steve is involved. And I just worry that Dustin is going to have, some kind of, lashing out reaction, like Nancy did, at Steve. And I don't know that I'm going to be okay with that.
I think even if he does, it'll be solved pretty quickly because Steve knows now how to deal with someone who's coming from that place.
It's true.
So I think that if that were to happen, that would be an immense moment of character growth for Steve.
It would probably be a really good, moment in the Steve and Dustin
their relationship yeah.
too. Yeah.
And that could actually be, a really powerful scene.
Mm-hmm. If something like that does happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to happen because Eddie's not dead.
Get on it, Duffers. We talked a little bit about how exactly Will is kind of somewhere in between the Upside Down and what Vecna could have to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were talking, I think we were theorizing that maybe Vecna at this point isn't strong enough to straight up hold people the way that he can in season 4.
Yeah.
Maybe he's pushing Will's consciousness into the Upside Down, and that's how he makes that connection to the Mind Flayer. If he just keeps pushing, the time he spends there gets longer and longer and longer until eventually the Mind Flayer will be able to take him. So if Will is the flea, like we've been theorizing, the flea and the acrobat, then Vecna's influence here is essentially pushing him into the Upside Down.
Okay.
So, Will is existing in both spaces.
Yeah.
And while Vecna isn't, literally holding him down in a trance, he is making those jumps into the Upside Down longer and longer and longer.
I mean, that is true, because just from what we've seen so far in this season, the first one, it's just, a quick glimpse outside of the arcade. And the second one is he's essentially almost being chased by the Mind Flayer.
And even before that, the first time it happens to him, well, actually in the comic book, the first time it happens to him is while he's in the hospital seeing Jonathan and his mom.
Mm-hmm.
But
in the show,
in the show, the first time we see it happen to him is in the bathroom, and it only lasts for a few seconds.
It's only a few seconds, and that so if that theory could be totally plausible, because each time we've seen one of Will's vision things so far, they have been
getting longer. Yeah. So I think we're pretty close to the end of the episode here. Jonathan, we talked about a little. He basically gives up his night and the girl he was talking to just to take care of Nancy. Gets her home, gets her in bed, cleans her up, and heads home. What happened to that Jonathan? Season 4 Jonathan is just not the same character.
It's not the same character. Because I really liked Jonathan, and I didn't like Jonathan at all in season 4.
Yeah. We gotta stop saying this. I feel like we keep doing this.
But it's true, because there's so many different things that happen, in the earlier seasons with these characters that we loved, and then we got to season 4, and it's well, what happened to you?
Yeah, why are you a burnout stoner? What happened?
Why was that choice made to do that to the character? What was the purpose of it?
What kind of sense does that make? They move everybody into protection. I feel like the Jonathan of seasons 1 through 3 would have been super on the ball, making sure everything was cool with Will and 11.
Right.
But instead, he's just kind of, living in dazed and confused. And Will is being forced into, the protective brother role for 11.
Yeah.
Which, dude, have you met Will? Don't force him to do that.
Right.
That's so rough.
Will still needs a big brother.
Yeah.
I don't know. It irks us, which is why we bring it up as much as we do.
Yeah. The straight up character assassination in season 4 for a few people is rough.
Yeah.
And it's harder to deal with when we see how good it was.
I put a quote from Hopper. it's very unhealthy to leave me out here. Because she won't come out, or Eleven won't come out of her room.
Because Hop was late.
But that's just funny. But she's making like a makeshift sensory thing so that she can try to find Mike.
She uses the white noise from the TV.
Mm-hmm, the white noise from the TV and a blindfold to try to find Mike, and Mike is trying to find her at the same time.
Yeah.
It's so fun. So fun.
It's really sad, and like they come back to her like outside of the mindscape again, and she's crying because she just wants to talk to Mike.
Find him, and all she wants to do is talk to him.
And he's talking to her on the radio, and she can't speak.
And she can't.
Well, she could speak back to him, but she's still, she's still following Hopper's instructions.
Yeah.
She really wants to reach out to him, but she knows that she shouldn't.
She knows that she shouldn't, for her safety and his.
Right. And it's heartbreaking. But that's not the end of the episode.
What does Dustin find in his trash can?
We'll find out in the next episode. But I think now is probably the most appropriate time ever for our catchphrase.
Dusty Buns gets it done.
Oh, we're doing ASMR?
Oh, no, I hate that. I hate it so much. Dusty Buns gets it done.